The world is not kind to the timid. It does not bend for the hesitant or bow to the uncertain. It yields only to those who dare to carve their own path, who forge their destiny with the fire of unbreakable discipline. You stand at the edge of your own empire, not a kingdom of stone or gold, but one built on the iron of your will, the clarity of your vision, and the relentless pursuit of what you were born to create. This is not a dream. This is not a wish. This is a command to rise, to act, to become the architect of your own greatness. The question is not whether you are worthy. The question is whether you are willing. Imagine a man in the dim light of a New York evening, 1870. John D. Rockefeller, not yet the titan history would remember, sits at a worn desk, his ledger open, his mind a furnace of ambition. The world around him is chaos, oil markets fluctuating, competitors clawing for scraps, a nation rebuilding from war. Yet, he does not flinch. He does not waver. Every dollar earned, every deal struck, every hour spent is a brick laid in the foundation of an empire. He understood a truth most never grasp. Wealth is not found in chance or inherited by luck. It is forged through discipline, a force sharper than steel, more enduring than stone. Discipline is the hammer that shapes the raw ore of your potential into something eternal. You too stand in a world of chaos. The noise is deafening, endless notifications, fleeting trends, voices shouting what you should want, what you should fear. But within you burns a spark, a quiet defiance that refuses to be drowned. That spark is your birthright, your claim to something greater. It whispers that you were not born to drift, to follow, to settle. You were born to build, to create, to forge an empire not just of wealth, but of purpose, of impact, of a life that echoes long after you're gone. But to claim that destiny, you must first master yourself. Discipline begins in the mind. Your thoughts are the blueprint of your empire. They are the unseen scaffolding upon which every action, every decision, every triumph is built. Thomas Edison, toiling through thousands of failed experiments, did not see failure, he saw progress. Each burned filament, each shattered bulb, was a lesson etched into his mind, refining his vision until the world glowed with his brilliance. What separated him from the countless others who dreamed of light? A mind disciplined to see possibility where others saw defeat. You must train your mind as a warrior trains his body, ruthlessly, relentlessly, with no tolerance for weakness. Doubt is a thief. Fear is a liar, and indecision is a chain that binds you to mediocrity. Cast them out. Begin each morning with a vow. I will not be swayed by distraction. I will not be seduced by comfort. I will not bow to the excuses that have buried countless dreams. Picture your mind as a fortress, impregnable, guarded by a single truth: what you believe, you become. Henry Ford believed a car could be more than a luxury for the elite. He saw it as a tool for the masses. That belief, unyielding and clear, reshaped the world. Your beliefs are not passive thoughts. They are the molten core of your empire. Guard them. Sharpen them. Let them burn away anything that does not serve your purpose. But belief alone is not enough. Clarity is the compass that turns belief into action. Without it, you wander. With it, every step is deliberate, every choice a brick in your foundation. Andrew Carnegie, a boy from the slums of Scotland, saw a vision of steel, not just as a material, but as the backbone of a new America. He did not dream vaguely of success. He saw bridges, railroads, skyscrapers rising from his ambition. He mapped his empire in his mind before a single furnace was lit. You must do the same. What is your vision? Not a vague hope, not a fleeting wish, but a vivid, burning image of what you will create. Write it down. See it in your mind's eye. Every detail, every color, every sound. Let it consume you until it is more real than the world around you. This clarity is not a gift, it is a discipline. It demands you ask hard questions. What do you want? Not what society wants, not what your family expects, not what your fears allow, but what do you demand of this life? Most will never answer this question. They drift through years, chasing shadows, wondering why their lives feel hollow. But you are not most. You are here to forge something extraordinary. So sit with that question. Let it burn. Let it strip away the lies you've told yourself. And when the answer comes, hold it like a flame in the dark. Let it guide every choice, every sacrifice, every moment of your day. Purpose is the fire that fuels your clarity. It is not enough to know what you want, you must know why. Walt Disney, mocked for his dreams of talking mice and fairy tales, was driven by a purpose deeper than profit. He wanted to create joy, to spark imagination, to build worlds where the impossible felt real. That purpose carried him through bankruptcy, through doubt, through a world that called him a fool. Your purpose is your anchor. It is the reason you rise when you fall, the reason you push when you're exhausted, the reason you refuse to quit. Find it, not in the applause of others, not in fleeting pleasures, but in the quiet truth of what sets your soul ablaze. Discipline is the bridge between purpose and reality. It is the daily, unglamorous work of showing up. It is the choice to act when others rest, to learn when others scroll, to persist when others surrender. Rockefeller did not build Standard Oil by chance. He studied markets, tracked expenses, negotiated with a precision that left competitors in awe. Every day was a deliberate step toward his vision. You must do the same. Discipline is not a feeling, it is a decision. It is waking before dawn while the world sleeps. It is saying no to distractions that promise ease. It is choosing the hard path because it leads to greatness. Consider the oak tree, standing unyielding against centuries of storms. Its strength comes not from a single moment, but from years of quiet growth, roots digging deeper with every season. Your empire is built the same way, day by day, choice by choice. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you lay another brick. Every time you refuse to quit, you forge another link in the chain of your legacy. The world will not hand you greatness. It will not part its seas for your dreams. You must take it, one disciplined step at a time. Action is the crucible where discipline is tested. Ideas are worthless without execution. Dreams are nothing without sweat. Abraham Lincoln, a man born in a log cabin, did not rise to lead a fractured nation by dreaming of unity. He acted. He read, he spoke, he debated, he endured. Every speech honed, every law studied, every failure faced was an action that carved his name into history. You must move with the same relentless intent. Write the plan. Make the call. Take the risk. The world rewards those who act while others hesitate. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for perfection. Act now, and let your actions shape the world to your will. But action without gratitude is hollow. Gratitude is the lens that keeps your empire grounded. It is the recognition that every step forward, every lesson learned, every breath you take is a gift. Rockefeller, in his letters, spoke of a life built on principle, not pride. He gave generously not to buy favor, but because he understood that wealth is a tool, not a god. Look around you. The air in your lungs, the fire in your heart, the chance to build something new. These are not guarantees, but privileges. Let gratitude fuel your discipline. Let it remind you that every struggle is a chance to grow, every setback a chance to learn, every victory a chance to give back. Adaptability is the armor of the disciplined. The world is not static. It shifts, it challenges, it tests. Those who cling to old ways, who refuse to bend, will break. Look at the story of Henry Ford. When the world laughed at his assembly line, he adapted, refined, and revolutionized industry. When the market demanded new models, he pivoted, even when it bruised his pride. Your empire will face storms, doubts, failures, unexpected turns. You must be like water, flowing around obstacles, finding new paths without losing your course. Discipline does not mean rigidity. It means strength that bends but never breaks. Resilience is the heartbeat of your empire. It is the refusal to stay down, no matter how hard you're hit. Thomas Edison faced bankruptcy, ridicule, and fires that burned his dreams to ash. Yet he rose again and again, because resilience is not just surviving, it is thriving through adversity. You will fall. You will fail. You will doubt. But every scar is a lesson. Every wound is a teacher. The disciplined mind does not see failure as an end, but as a forge, tempering your resolve until it is unbreakable. Lifelong learning is the fuel that keeps your empire growing. The moment you think you know enough, you begin to die. Rockefeller never stopped studying markets, men, the world itself. He read, he listened, he questioned. You must do the same. Seek knowledge like a starving man seeks bread. Read the books others ignore. Ask the questions others fear. Surround yourself with those who challenge you, not comfort you. Your empire is only as strong as the mind that builds it. Feed it. Sharpen it. Never let it rest. As you stand at the threshold of your destiny, know this: the world is watching. Not the world of strangers or critics, but the world within you. The part of you that knows what you're capable of, the part that refuses to settle. You are not here to drift through life, to collect trinkets of comfort, to fade into the gray of mediocrity. You are here to forge an empire, to build something that outlives you, to leave a mark that time cannot erase. This is not a call to dream, it is a command to act. To discipline your mind, your body, your soul. To believe in your vision with a fire that no storm can extinguish. To rise day after day, and build what others only imagine. Your empire awaits. Not in some distant future, not in a perfect moment, but now. This breath, this choice, this moment. Take it, forge it, make it yours. And when the world looks upon what you've built, let it stand as a testament to what discipline, belief, and action can achieve. The hammer is in your hand. The fire is in your heart. Now build. The hammer in your hand is not a tool of mere labor. It is the instrument of your will, the extension of your resolve. Every strike you make against the anvil of your life shapes not just your future, but the very essence of who you are. The world does not care about your intentions. It does not pause for your doubts. It moves, relentless and unyielding, and only those who match its pace with disciplined action can bend it to their vision. You are not a passenger in this life. You are the blacksmith of your fate, and every moment you choose to act is a spark that lights the forge of your empire. Look back to the giants who shaped the world. Consider Cornelius Vanderbilt, a man who began with a single ferryboat and a hunger that no ocean could drown. He did not inherit his empire. He built it deal by deal, ship by ship, with a discipline that turned ambition into iron. When others saw risk, he saw opportunity. When others rested, he planned. His life was not a straight path to glory. It was a battlefield of setbacks, betrayals, and storms. Yet he stood firm, not because he was fearless, but because he was disciplined. He knew that every challenge was a chance to sharpen his mind, to refine his strategy, to strengthen his resolve. You must adopt this same unyielding stance. The world will test you. It will push you to your knees. But discipline is the force that lifts you back, stronger, wiser, ready to strike again. Discipline is not a single act. It is a way of being. It is the rhythm of your days, the pulse of your purpose. Imagine a river, cutting through stone over centuries. It does not carve the canyon in a single day, but through relentless flow, through unwavering commitment to its path. Your empire is built the same way. It is not the grand gestures that define you, but the small, consistent choices. The decision to rise early, to study when you're tired, to push forward when every fiber of your being screams for rest. These are the moments that forge greatness. These are the bricks of your legacy. Consider the story of Marie Curie, a woman who defied a world that told her she could not. In a cold, leaking shed, she toiled, driven by a vision of discovery that others called impossible. She did not have wealth, privilege, or ease. She had discipline, a relentless commitment to her purpose, a refusal to let exhaustion or doubt dim her light. Her work reshaped science, not because she was gifted, but because she was disciplined. Every experiment, every note, every sleepless night was a step toward immortality. You too must embrace this truth. Your empire is not built in moments of inspiration, but in the quiet, grinding work of showing up day after day, when no one is watching, when no one cares. This discipline extends beyond action. It lives in how you treat your body, your time, your relationships. Your body is the vessel of your ambition. Treat it as a temple, not a tavern. Feed it with purpose, strengthen it with care, rest it with intention. Time is your most precious currency. Guard it fiercely. Say no to the trivial, to the fleeting, to the distractions that steal your focus. And surround yourself with those who elevate you, not drain you. Rockefeller did not build his empire alone. He chose partners who matched his vision, who challenged his ideas, who pushed him to be better. Your circle is your mirror. Let it reflect the greatness you seek. But discipline is not cold or mechanical. It is alive, pulsing with passion, with the fire of why you began. Reconnect with that fire. Remember the moment you first felt the call, the dream that woke you in the night, the vision that made your heart race. That fire is still there, buried beneath the weight of routine, doubt, or fear. Fan it. Feed it. Let it burn through the excuses that hold you back. Passion without discipline is chaos, but discipline without passion is drudgery. Marry the two, and you become unstoppable. Now, imagine standing atop the empire you've built. Not a tower of gold, but a life of meaning, of impact, of mastery. From this vantage point, you see the battles you fought, the moments you wanted to quit, the nights you pushed through, the doubts you silenced. You see the sacrifices, the choices, the quiet victories no one else will ever know. And you see the truth. Every step was worth it. Every moment of discipline was a thread in the tapestry of your legacy. This is not a fantasy. This is your future, if you choose it. The world will not make it easy. It will throw obstacles in your path, failure, rejection, uncertainty. But these are not your enemies. They are your forge. They are the fire that tempers your resolve, the hammer that shapes your strength. When you fall, rise. When you doubt, act. When you tire, push harder. The empire you seek is not a destination. It is a journey, and every step you take with discipline brings you closer to its gates. Do not wait for the perfect moment. It does not exist. Do not wait for courage. It comes through action. Do not wait for the world to approve. It never will. The only permission you need is your own. So take the hammer. Strike the anvil. Forge your empire, not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Let every choice, every breath, every heartbeat be a declaration. I am the master of my fate. I am the builder of my legacy, and I will not stop until my empire stands. The anvil of your life is still hot, glowing with the heat of possibility. Every strike you make sends sparks into the darkness, illuminating the path to your empire. But the world will try to cool that fire. It will tempt you with ease, seduce you with shortcuts, whisper that you've done enough. Hear this, enough is a lie. The disciplined do not settle for enough. They hunger for more, not out of greed, but out of a burning need to become all they were meant to be. Your empire is not a monument to wealth alone. It is a testament to your refusal to live a small life. Look to the story of Nikola Tesla, a man whose mind crackled with visions too vast for his time. He saw a world powered by electricity, connected by ideas, alive with possibilities others could not fathom. Poverty, betrayal, and obscurity dogged his steps, yet he worked on, through sleepless nights, through ridicule, through the weight of a world that did not yet understand. His discipline was not just in his work, but in his refusal to let the world define his worth. You too must hold fast to your own value. The world will try to measure you by its standards, by numbers, by applause, by fleeting approval. But your empire is not built for their eyes. It is built for the truth you carry within. Discipline is your rebellion against mediocrity. It is the choice to rise when others sleep, to learn when others scroll, to create when others consume. Consider the sculptor, chiseling stone under the relentless sun. Each strike seems small, each chip insignificant, yet over time, a masterpiece emerges. Your life is that stone. Every disciplined choice, every moment you choose purpose over distraction, growth over comfort, is a strike that reveals the masterpiece within you. Do not rush the process. Do not curse the labor. Trust that every effort, no matter how small, is shaping something eternal. This rebellion demands sacrifice. Not the sacrifice of joy or love, but of the trivial that cloaks itself as urgent. The world will tempt you with endless noise, notifications, trends, opinions that pull you from your path. Discipline is the courage to say no. No to the party that steals your morning. No to the habits that dull your edge. No to the voices that say you're not enough. Rockefeller himself turned away from fleeting pleasures to focus on his vision. He understood that every moment spent on the inconsequential was a moment stolen from his empire. You must be just as ruthless. Guard your time as a king guards his throne. Protect your focus as a warrior protects his sword. But sacrifice is not loss, it is investment. Every time you say no to distraction, you say yes to your future. Every time you choose the hard path, you build a stronger foundation. Think of J.P. Morgan, who reshaped finance not by chasing every opportunity, but by choosing the ones that aligned with his vision. He did not scatter his energy, he channeled it, like a river funneled into a dam, creating power that moved the world. Your energy is your currency. Spend it wisely. Direct it toward what matters, your purpose, your growth, your empire. And yet, discipline is not a solitary act. It thrives in the company of others who share your fire. Surround yourself with builders, not dreamers. Seek those who challenge you, who push you to rise higher, who see the empire you're forging even when you doubt it yourself. Andrew Carnegie did not rise alone. He built alliances with men like Charles Schwab, whose own discipline amplified Carnegie's vision. Your circle is not just a reflection of who you are, it is a forge that shapes who you will become. Choose wisely. Let their ambition sharpen yours. Let their resilience strengthen yours. Let their success remind you that yours is possible. Now pause and breathe. Feel the weight of this moment. You are not reading these words by accident. You are here because something within you refuses to settle, refuses to fade, refuses to live a life less than extraordinary. That is your power. That is your mandate. But power without discipline is a flame that burns out. Discipline is the fuel that keeps it alive, the structure that turns it into a beacon. You are not here to flicker. You are here to blaze. The path to your empire is not a straight line. It is a labyrinth of trials, of moments that test your resolve. There will be days when the weight feels too heavy, when the vision feels too distant, when the world screams that you should give up. In those moments, remember this: discipline is your anchor. It is the voice that says, one more step. It is the hand that pulls you from the dark. It is the fire that burns when all else fails. Look to the story of Walt Disney, who faced bankruptcy, betrayal, and a world that called his dreams childish. Yet he pressed on, disciplined in his belief that imagination could reshape reality. His empire stands as proof. Discipline turns dreams into dynasties. Your empire is not a distant hope. It is here, now, in the choices you make today. It is in the book you read instead of the show you watch. It is in the goal you set and the plan you execute. It is in the courage to act when fear whispers to wait. Every disciplined moment is a brick in your foundation, a step toward your throne. Do not let the world distract you. Do not let doubt diminish you. You are the builder, the visionary, the one who decides what your life will mean. So stand tall. Grip the hammer. Feel the heat of the forge. The world is waiting, not to hand you your empire, but to witness the one you will build. Strike now. Strike hard. Let every action echo with purpose, every choice ring with conviction. Your empire is not a dream, it is a destiny. Forge it with unbreakable discipline, and let it stand as a monument to the truth that you were never meant to be ordinary. You were meant to be legendary. The sparks from your forge light the night, but the work is not done. The empire you build demands more than a single strike, more than a fleeting burst of effort. It calls for a rhythm, a cadence of discipline that becomes the heartbeat of your life. This is not a sprint. It is a marathon across a landscape of trials, where every step tests your resolve, where every moment dares you to prove your commitment. The world will not pause for you. It will not applaud your intentions. It will only yield to the one who keeps moving, who keeps forging, who refuses to let the fire die. Picture the life of Benjamin Franklin, a man who rose from a printer's apprentice to a statesman who shaped a nation. He did not stumble into greatness. He crafted it, hour by hour, with a discipline that turned his days into a masterpiece. He woke early, planned his time, and held himself accountable to a simple question: what good shall I do today? That question was his compass, guiding him through a world of chaos and opportunity. You must ask yourself the same. Not what you feel like doing, not what is easy, but what will move you closer to your empire. Let that question burn in your chest. Let it drive every choice, from the moment you rise to the moment you rest. Discipline is your shield against the chaos of the world. It is the structure that holds your vision together when life tries to tear it apart. The world will throw distractions at you, endless demands, fleeting pleasures, voices that question your path. But discipline is your defiance. It is the act of choosing your empire over the noise. Consider Oprah Winfrey, a woman born into poverty, who faced a world that tried to silence her. She did not rise by chance. She rose by choosing day after day to show up, to learn, to speak, to build. Her discipline was not just in her work, but in her refusal to let the world define her limits. You too must refuse. Your empire is not bound by the expectations of others. It is bound only by the strength of your will. This strength is forged in the quiet moments. It is in the choice to read one more page when your eyes grow heavy. It is in the decision to plan your day when chaos beckons. It is in the courage to face your fears, to name them, to conquer them. Look to the story of Nelson Mandela, who endured 27 years in a cell, yet never let his spirit break. His discipline was not just in surviving, but in transforming suffering into strength, in using every moment to sharpen his vision of a better world. Your struggles are not your prison, they are your forge. They shape you, refine you, prepare you for the empire you will build. But discipline is not a solitary fire. It thrives in the presence of purpose, of a vision so vivid it pulls you forward. Revisit your why. Not the shallow why of wealth or fame, but the deep, unshakable why that anchors your soul. Why do you rise? Why do you fight? Why do you refuse to quit? For Steve Jobs, it was a vision of technology that didn't just function, but inspired. He saw devices that could change how we live, how we create, how we connect. That vision drove him through failure, through rejection, through a world that doubted him. Your vision is your North Star. Let it guide you when the path grows dark. Let it remind you that every disciplined step is a step towards something greater. And yet, discipline is not blind effort. It is strategic, deliberate, precise. Think of a chess master, moving each piece with intention, seeing 10 moves ahead. Your life is your board, and every choice is a move. Plan your days as carefully as a general plans a campaign. Set your goals, break them into steps, and execute with relentless precision. Rockefeller did not build his empire by chasing every opportunity. He chose the ones that aligned with his vision, and he pursued them with unmatched focus. You must do the same. Know your priorities. Eliminate the trivial. Focus on what moves the needle, what builds your empire, what makes you unstoppable. This focus requires courage. The courage to let go of what no longer serves you. The courage to walk away from people, habits, or beliefs that hold you back. The courage to stand alone, if that's what it takes. Consider Maya Angelou, whose voice rose from a childhood of silence and pain. She did not become a literary giant by clinging to comfort. She let go of fear, of doubt, of the weight of her past, and she forged a legacy that speaks to millions. Your empire demands the same courage. Let go of the anchors that keep you small. Embrace the discomfort of growth. Trust that the path of discipline, though hard, leads to freedom. As you forge ahead, remember gratitude. It is the quiet strength that keeps you grounded. In the pursuit of your empire, it is easy to focus on what you lack: more time, more resources, more certainty. But pause. Look at what you have. The mind that dreams. The body that moves. The chance to try again. Gratitude is not weakness, it is fuel. It reminds you that every struggle is a gift, every obstacle a teacher, every moment a chance to build. Rockefeller gave not out of obligation, but out of a deep understanding that wealth, in all its forms, is a privilege to be shared. Let gratitude guide your actions. Let it soften your heart without dulling your edge. The road to your empire is long, but it is yours. Every step is a choice. Every choice is a chance to prove who you are. The world will not hand you greatness. It will not pave your path with gold, but it will watch as you forge your own. So keep the hammer in your hand. Keep the fire in your heart. Let every strike, every effort, every disciplined moment echo with the truth. You are not here to exist. You are here to create, to conquer, to leave a legacy that time cannot erase. Your empire is waiting. Forge it, now. The fire in your forge burns brighter with every strike, but the work of building your empire never ends. It is a relentless calling, a demand that you show up, not once, not twice, but every single day, with the same ferocity, the same unyielding discipline. The world does not reward the half-hearted. It does not crown those who pause to catch their breath. It bows only to those who press forward, who turn their vision into iron, who forge their destiny with a will that refuses to break. You are not here to merely survive. You are here to shape the world in your image, to build an empire that stands as a monument to your unbreakable spirit. Consider the life of Frederick Douglass, a man born into chains, who forged his freedom not just with words, but with a discipline that defied oppression. He taught himself to read in secret, risking everything for knowledge. He spoke when silence was safer, wrote when his voice was forbidden, and fought when the world demanded he kneel. His empire was not one of gold, but of truth, of impact, of a legacy that shattered the shackles of millions. His discipline was his rebellion, a refusal to let his circumstances define his fate. You too must rebel, not against chains of iron, but against the chains of doubt, procrastination, and fear that bind your potential. Break them. Forge your freedom with every choice you make. Discipline is the art of choosing the eternal over the fleeting. It is the decision to invest in your future self, even when the present tempts you with comfort. The world is a marketplace of distractions, each one vying for your attention, each one promising ease at the cost of your dreams. But you are not a consumer of life, you are a creator. Think of Elon Musk, who bets everything on visions others call impossible. He does not sleep through his days or squander his hours. He works, he learns, he builds, with a discipline that turns dreams into rockets, cars, and tunnels through the earth. Your empire demands the same focus. Say no to the trivial. Say yes to the work that moves you closer to your vision. Every moment you choose discipline, you choose yourself. This choice is not easy. It is a battle, fought in the quiet of your mind, in the solitude of your mornings, in the weight of your decisions. There will be days when the hammer feels too heavy, when the fire seems too dim, when the world whispers that you're not enough. In those moments, remember the story of J.K. Rowling, who wrote in cafes while her world crumbled, who faced rejection after rejection, yet refused to stop. Her discipline was not just in writing, but in believing, in her story, in her voice, in her right to create. Your empire is built in those same moments of defiance, when you choose to keep going, to keep forging, to keep believing in the vision only you can see. But discipline is not just about pushing forward. It is about knowing when to pause, to reflect, to recalibrate. A blacksmith does not strike blindly. He tempers the metal, cools it, shapes it with care. You must do the same with your life. Reflect on your progress. Ask yourself, am I moving toward my empire, or am I chasing shadows? Are my actions aligned with my purpose, or am I drifting? This reflection is not doubt, it is clarity. It is the discipline of staying true to your path, of cutting away what does not serve your vision. Be ruthless in this. Let go of habits that weaken you, relationships that drain you, beliefs that limit you. Your empire deserves a builder who is whole, focused, and unafraid. And yet, in this relentless pursuit, do not lose sight of joy. Discipline is not punishment, it is liberation. It is the key that unlocks the life you were meant to live. Find joy in the work, in the grind, in the small victories that no one else sees. Think of Michael Jordan, who found joy not just in winning, but in the practice, the drills, the sweat-soaked hours that made him a legend. His discipline was fueled by a love for the game, a passion that turned effort into art. Your empire is your canvas. Find joy in painting it, stroke by stroke, with the colors of your effort, your growth, your resilience. Community is the forge where your discipline is strengthened. No empire is built alone. Surround yourself with those who see your fire, who stoke it, who challenge you to burn brighter. Look to the right brothers, who dreamed of flight in a world that laughed at the sky. They leaned on each other, shared their failures, celebrated their breakthroughs. Their discipline was a shared flame, one that carried them into the clouds. Find your allies, those who push you, who believe in you, who remind you of your purpose when the world grows heavy. They are not just your companions, they are your strength. As you stand in the heat of your forge, know this: every strike matters. Every choice, every effort, every moment of discipline is a thread in the tapestry of your empire. The world will not hand you greatness. It will not clear your path or light your way, but it will watch as you carve your own road, as you build something that cannot be ignored. You are not here to follow. You are not here to fade. You are here to forge, to create, to leave a mark that time itself will honor. So grip the hammer. Feel its weight. Let it remind you of the power in your hands, the fire in your soul. The empire you seek is not a dream. It is a reality waiting for you to claim it. Strike now. Strike true. Let every action, every breath, every heartbeat declare, I am the builder of my destiny. I am the master of my fate, and I will forge my empire with discipline that nothing can break. The forge is still alive, its embers pulsing with the heat of your ambition. The hammer in your hand is worn, but it is steady, shaped by the countless strikes you've already made. This is not the end. It is merely a moment, a breath, a chance to reaffirm the truth that burns within you. Your empire is not a distant dream, but a living, breathing creation, built by the relentless discipline that defines you. The world may tire, it may falter, it may turn away, but you do not. You are the fire, the anvil, the force that shapes destiny itself. And with every strike, you grow stronger, closer, more unstoppable. Look to the story of Soichiro Honda, a man who began with nothing but a vision and a bicycle shop. The world told him his dreams were too big. Japan was in ruins, resources scarce, his early engines failing. Yet he toiled day after day, in a shed filled with smoke and doubt. His discipline was not just in his hands, but in his refusal to let failure define him. He rebuilt, rethought, refined, until his name became synonymous with innovation. Your empire demands the same tenacity. Failure is not your enemy, it is your teacher. Each setback is a lesson, each obstacle a chance to sharpen your edge. Embrace it. Learn from it. Let it fuel the fire that drives you forward. Discipline is your vow to never stop learning. The world is a vast library, and every experience, every book, every conversation is a page waiting to teach you. Consider Leonardo da Vinci, whose curiosity knew no bounds. He sketched machines that would not exist for centuries, studied the human body, painted masterpieces, all because he refused to let his mind rest. His discipline was in his hunger to know more, to see more, to create more. You too must hunger. Seek knowledge like a desert seeks rain. Read the books that challenge you. Ask the questions that scare you. Let every day be a chance to grow wiser, sharper, more capable of building the empire you envision. But knowledge alone is not enough. It must be paired with action. The greatest ideas are worthless if they remain locked in your mind. Action is the bridge between your vision and reality, and discipline is the force that carries you across. Think of Amelia Earhart, who did not just dream of the skies, she flew them. She faced storms, mechanical failures, a world that doubted a woman's place in the cockpit. Yet she acted, with a discipline that turned her dreams into history. Your empire waits for the same courage. Take the step. Make the call. Write the plan. Do not wait for the world to be ready. Make it ready with your actions. This action must be relentless, but it must also be wise. Discipline is not about burning yourself out. It is about burning brightly, sustainably for the long haul. Picture a marathon runner, pacing herself through miles of pain. She does not sprint until she collapses. She finds a rhythm, a balance that carries her to the finish line. Your empire is a marathon, not a race. Rest when you need to, but never stop. Reflect when you must, but never stagnate. Discipline is the art of knowing when to push and when to pause, when to fight and when to plan. Master this balance, and you master your destiny. In this pursuit, humility is your ally. The disciplined do not build empires for ego, they build them for impact. Rockefeller, in his quiet moments, knew his wealth was a tool, not a crown. He gave generously, not to be praised, but to leave the world better than he found it. Your empire is not just for you. It is for those you inspire, those you lift, those who will walk the paths you've carved. Let humility guide your ambition. Let it remind you that greatness is not in what you take, but in what you create, what you share, what you leave behind. The world will test you. It will throw storms of doubt, winds of criticism, fires of failure. But you are not fragile. You are forged in the heat of discipline, tempered by the trials you've already faced. Think of Malala Yousafzai, who stood up to a world that tried to silence her. A bullet could not stop her. Fear could not break her. Her discipline, her unwavering commitment to her cause, turned her voice into a global force. Your empire will face its own bullets, its own storms. But with discipline, you are unbreakable. You are a force that no obstacle can stop. As you stand in the glow of your forge, feel the weight of this moment. You are not here by chance. You are here because you were born to build, to create, to leave a mark that echoes through time. Your empire is not a place, it is a legacy. It is the sum of every disciplined choice, every bold action, every moment you chose to rise instead of fall. The world is watching, not to judge, but to witness what you will become. So grip the hammer. Let the fire roar. Forge your empire, not with hesitation, but with the unshakable certainty that you were made for this. This is your calling. This is your moment. Every strike, every effort, every breath is a declaration. I will not settle. I will not fade. I will build my empire, brick by brick, with discipline that nothing can shatter. The anvil is ready. The fire is alive. Strike now, and let your legacy burn forever. The fire in your forge has not dimmed. It roars, fierce and unyielding, a reflection of the resolve that pulses through your veins. The hammer in your hand is no lighter, but it feels like an extension of your soul, each strike a testament to the empire you are building. This is not the end, nor will it ever be, for the disciplined do not seek endings, they seek legacies. Your empire is not a finish line. It is a horizon, vast and endless, stretching as far as your will can carry you. The world may grow weary, but you do not. You are the storm, the fire, the force that shapes the future with every choice, every action, every moment of unbreakable discipline. Look to the life of Madam C.J. Walker, a woman who rose from the cotton fields to become America's first self-made female millionaire. She did not inherit her wealth or stumble into success. She built it, product by product, door by door, with a discipline that turned her vision of empowerment into an empire. In a world that told her to stay small, she refused. She worked through exhaustion, through prejudice, through every barrier that stood in her way. Her discipline was her defiance, a refusal to let the world dictate her worth. You too must defy. Defy the voices that say you're not ready, not worthy, not capable. Your empire is proof that you are. Build it with the same relentless spirit, the same unshakable focus. Discipline is your compass in the wilderness of life. The path to your empire is not marked, it is forged. There will be moments when the way forward is unclear, when doubt clouds your vision, when the weight of the journey feels too heavy to bear. In those moments, discipline is your guide. It is the quiet voice that says, keep going. It is the strength that lifts your hand to strike the anvil once more. Consider the story of Winston Churchill, who led a nation through its darkest hour. He did not win wars with hope alone. He planned, he spoke, he endured, with a discipline that held firm when the world was crumbling. Your empire demands the same resolve. When the path is unclear, trust your discipline to carve it. This resolve is built in the crucible of consistency. Greatness is not born in a single moment of brilliance. It is forged in the daily grind, in the choices you make when no one is watching. Think of a farmer, tending his fields through drought and storm. He does not plant once and expect a harvest. He sows, he waters, he waits, day after day, trusting that his labor will bear fruit. Your empire is your harvest. Every disciplined action, every hour spent learning, every risk taken, every temptation resisted, is a seed planted in the soil of your future. Tend it, nurture it, trust that the work you do today will bloom into the legacy you seek. But discipline is not just about work, it is about vision. It is about seeing beyond the moment, beyond the struggle, to the empire that waits. Imagine standing atop a mountain, looking out at the world you've built. Not just wealth, but impact, lives changed, dreams ignited, a legacy that outlives you. This vision is your fuel. It is what pulls you through the long nights, the hard days, the moments when giving up feels easier than going on. Look to the story of Coco Chanel, who saw elegance where others saw simplicity, who built a fashion empire from a single hat shop. Her discipline was in her vision, a refusal to see the world as it was, but as it could be. See your empire the same way. Let it burn in your mind, vivid and real, until it pulls you forward with a force you cannot resist. This vision demands sacrifice, but not the sacrifice of your soul. Sacrifice the small for the great. Let go of the habits that chain you to mediocrity. Release the fears that keep you safe but small. Walk away from the noise that drowns your purpose. Discipline is the courage to choose what matters most, even when it hurts. Think of Muhammad Ali, who sacrificed comfort for conviction, who trained through pain, who stood tall when the world tried to knock him down. His empire was not just in the ring, it was in the hearts he inspired, the barriers he broke. Your empire, too, is bigger than you. It is the lives you touch, the change you spark, the mark you leave. In this pursuit, resilience is your armor. The world will not make your path easy. It will throw failures, rejections, moments of despair. But you are not defined by what happens to you. You are defined by how you respond. Look to the story of Frida Kahlo, who turned pain into art, who painted through broken bones and a broken heart. Her discipline was not just in her brushstrokes, but in her refusal to let suffering silence her. Your struggles are not your end, they are your canvas. Paint your empire with every scar, every tear, every moment you choose to rise. And as you rise, carry gratitude with you. It is the light that keeps your fire from consuming you. Be grateful for the challenges that make you stronger, the failures that make you wiser, the chance to build something extraordinary. Gratitude is not a passive feeling. It is an active choice, a discipline that grounds you in the truth that every moment is a gift. Rockefeller, in his quiet generosity, knew this. He built not just for himself, but for a world he believed could be better. Let your empire be the same, a gift to yourself, to those you love, to the world that needs your light. You stand now at the edge of forever. The forge is hot, the hammer is ready, and your empire is within reach. This is not a dream, it is a calling. It is a command to act, to build, to become. Every disciplined choice is a brick in your foundation. Every bold step is a stone in your legacy. The world is not waiting to give you permission. It is waiting to see what you will create. So strike the anvil. Let the sparks fly. Forge your empire with a discipline that nothing can break, and let it stand as a testament to the truth that you were never meant to be ordinary. You were meant to be eternal. The forge before you blazes, its flames casting shadows that dance across the walls of your ambition. The hammer in your grip is heavy with purpose, each swing a vow to the empire you are destined to build. This is not a fleeting effort, not a momentary spark, but a lifelong commitment to forge something that will stand against the tides of time. The world may try to douse your fire with doubt, with failure, with the weight of its indifference, but you are not of this world. You are the creator of your own, a force of discipline that carves empires from the raw stone of possibility. This is your moment. This is your eternity. Strike now, and let the world tremble at what you become. Discipline is not just your tool, it is your identity. It is the thread that weaves through every choice, every sacrifice, every triumph. Look to the life of Angela Merkel, who rose from the quiet of a chemist's lab to lead a nation through crises that would have broken lesser souls. Her discipline was not loud or flashy. It was steady, calculated, unyielding. She studied her opponents, planned her moves, and held firm when the world shook. Your empire demands the same quiet strength. It is not built in the spotlight, but in the shadows, where you choose to work when others rest, to learn when others drift, to rise when others fall. Let discipline be your signature, written in every action you take. This discipline is your rebellion against time itself. The hours slip through the fingers of the undisciplined, but you seize them, mold them, make them yours. Think of Leonardo da Vinci, whose notebooks overflowed with ideas that outlived him by centuries. He did not waste his moments. He filled them with sketches, questions, dreams that defied the limits of his era. Your time is your canvas. Paint it with purpose. Fill it with effort. Let every hour be a stroke toward your empire, a step toward the legacy that will carry your name beyond the horizon. Do not let a single moment slip away unclaimed. But discipline is not a solitary flame. It thrives in the presence of vision. Your empire is not just a goal. It is a world you create in your mind, vivid and unyielding, pulling you forward through every storm. Picture Harriet Tubman, who saw freedom not just for herself, but for hundreds she led through darkness. Her discipline was in every step she took, every risk she faced, every soul she saved. Her vision was her strength, her guide, her reason to keep moving when the world tried to chain her. Your vision is your power. See your empire in every detail, the impact you'll make, the lives you'll touch, the legacy you'll leave. Let it burn so brightly that no obstacle can dim it. This vision demands action, and action demands courage. The world will not roll out a red carpet for your dreams. It will throw barriers, fear, failure, the weight of expectation. But courage is not the absence of fear. It is the discipline to act despite it. Look to the story of Ernest Shackleton, whose ship was crushed by ice, stranding his crew in the Antarctic. He did not despair. He planned, he led, he endured, with a discipline that brought every man home alive. Your empire will face its own ice, its own crushing moments. Meet them with the same courage. Act when others freeze. Lead when others falter. Forge when others break. And yet, courage alone is not enough. It must be tempered with wisdom. Discipline is not reckless effort. It is strategic, deliberate, a dance of patience and persistence. Think of a master architect, designing a cathedral that will stand for centuries. Every stone is placed with care, every angle measured, every detail planned. Your empire is your cathedral. Build it with intention. Set your goals, map your path, and execute with precision. Do not scatter your energy on fleeting pursuits. Focus on what matters, on the actions that move you closer to your vision, on the choices that build your legacy. Be the architect who sees the finished spire before the first stone is laid. In this pursuit, resilience is your foundation. The world will not spare you its blows. You will stumble. You will bleed. You will doubt. But resilience is the discipline to rise, not once, but every time. Consider the life of Maya Lin, who designed the Vietnam Veterans Memorial at 21, facing a world that questioned her youth, her vision, her right to create. She stood firm, her discipline turning criticism into a monument that heals hearts to this day. Your empire will face its own critics, its own storms. Let them come. Let them rage. You are not built to break. You are built to endure, to transform pain into power, to turn doubt into defiance. Gratitude is the light that keeps your empire grounded. In the heat of your forge, it is easy to focus on what lies ahead, on the work still undone. But pause. Feel the pulse of this moment, the strength in your hands, the clarity in your mind, the fire in your heart. These are not accidents. They are gifts, earned through your discipline, forged through your will. Be grateful for the struggle, for it shapes you. Be grateful for the setbacks, for they teach you. Be grateful for the chance to build, for it is a privilege denied to many. Rockefeller, in his quiet moments, gave not for fame, but for gratitude, a recognition that his empire was a gift to be shared. Let your gratitude be your strength, your reminder that every step is a miracle, every strike a victory. As you stand in the glow of your forge, know this: you are not building for today. You are building for forever. Your empire is not just wealth, not just success, but a legacy that will echo through generations. Every disciplined choice, every bold action, every moment you choose to rise is a stone in that legacy. The world is not waiting to crown you. It is waiting to be changed by you. So let the hammer fall. Let the fire roar. Let every strike be a declaration. I am not here to drift. I am not here to fade. I am here to forge an empire that time cannot touch. This is your truth. This is your calling. You are the builder, the visionary, the one who dares to shape the world. Your empire is not a dream. It is a destiny, written in the fire of your discipline, sealed with the sweat of your effort. The anvil is ready. The flames are high. Strike now, and let your legacy burn eternal. You were born for this. You were made to rise. Forge your empire, and let the world know you are unstoppable. The forge before you is a furnace of eternity, its flames licking the edges of your soul, daring you to strike one final time. Not to end the work, but to seal it, to etch your name into the annals of time. The hammer in your hand trembles with the weight of every choice you've made, every fear you've conquered, every moment you chose discipline over surrender. This is not the end of your empire, it is the moment it becomes immortal. You stand at the precipice of your destiny, not as a dreamer, but as a creator, a force that bends the universe to your will. The world is not your master. You are its architect, and with every strike, you proclaim, I am here to forge what no one else can. Look to the life of Indira Gandhi, who led a nation through turbulence with a discipline that turned vision into power. She faced betrayal, war, and a world that doubted her strength, yet she stood unyielding, her every decision a calculated step toward her country's future. Her empire was not one of gold, but of influence, of courage, of a legacy that reshaped a nation. Your empire, too, is more than wealth. It is the impact you leave, the lives you ignite, the world you redefine. Discipline is the chisel that carves your mark, the fire that makes it eternal. Let it burn through every doubt, every hesitation, every whisper that says you cannot. This discipline is your anthem, sung in the quiet of your mornings, in the sweat of your labor, in the resolve that carries you through the darkest nights. It is the song of those who refuse to bow, those who, like Martin Luther King Jr., saw a dream not as a wish, but as a demand. He marched, he spoke, he endured, with a discipline that turned hope into history. His empire was not built in a day, but in countless moments of choosing to act, to speak, to stand when the world demanded silence. Your empire demands the same. Sing your anthem with every action. Let it echo in every choice. Let it proclaim that you will not be silenced, will not be stopped, will not be anything less than extraordinary. The world will try to drown your song. It will throw chaos at your feet, distractions that glitter, failures that sting, voices that mock. But discipline is your shield, forged in the fire of your will. Picture a lighthouse, standing firm against the raging sea. The waves crash, the winds howl, but it does not waver. Its light cuts through the storm, guiding ships to safety. You are that lighthouse. Your discipline is your light, piercing the darkness of doubt, guiding you to the shores of your empire. Let the storms come. Let the world rage. You are not here to bend. You are here to shine. This shine is not for you alone. Your empire is a beacon for others, for those who see your fire and find their own, for those who hear your anthem and dare to sing theirs. Think of Serena Williams, who rose from the courts of Compton to dominate a sport that tried to box her in. Her discipline was not just in her swing, but in her refusal to let the world define her limits. She built an empire of excellence, inspiring millions to chase their own. Your empire, too, is a gift. Every disciplined step you take lights the way for others. Every victory you claim proves what is possible. Build not just for yourself, but for the world that needs your courage, your strength, your light. And yet, in this relentless pursuit, do not forget the power of rest. Discipline is not a machine, it is a rhythm, a dance of effort and renewal. Like a warrior who sharpens his blade between battles, you must pause to hone your mind, your body, your spirit. Rest is not weakness, it is strategy. It is the discipline to know when to recharge, when to reflect, when to prepare for the next strike. Look to the life of Albert Einstein, who found clarity not just in equations, but in quiet moments of thought, in walks, in music. His empire of ideas reshaped the universe because he knew when to work and when to dream. Find your balance. Let it make you stronger, sharper, ready to forge with even greater force. As you stand in the heart of your forge, feel the weight of this moment. The fire is not just around you, it is within you. It is the spark of your purpose, the blaze of your vision, the inferno of your will. You are not here by accident. You are not here to drift through life, to collect fleeting comforts, to fade into the gray of the ordinary. You are here to build something that outlives you, something that shakes the foundations of the world. Every disciplined choice is a brick in that foundation. Every bold action is a pillar in that legacy. Every moment you choose to rise is a stone in the monument of your empire. The world is watching, not to judge, but to witness. It waits to see what you will create, what you will become, what you will leave behind. So let the hammer fall. Let the fire roar. Let every strike be a vow. I will not settle for less than I am capable of. I will not bow to fear or doubt. I will forge my empire, with discipline that nothing can break, with a vision that nothing can dim, with a will that nothing can conquer. This is not the end, it is the beginning of a legacy that will echo through time, a testament to the truth that you were never meant to be small. You were meant to be eternal. So strike now. Strike true. Let the sparks of your effort light the sky. Let the rhythm of your discipline shake the earth. Forge your empire, not tomorrow, not someday, but in this breath, this moment, this life. You are the builder. You are the fire. You are the force that shapes the future. And as you stand atop the empire you've forged, let the world know, I am unstoppable. I am unbreakable. I am the architect of my destiny, and my empire will stand forever.